So let's get to the last part, which is actually, I think, the most important part, which is how to, what's the solution and how to fight with this, right? So my evaluation of everything you're saying is that the key force, the most, because we have a lot of this ideology that is fighting against the West, fighting against the liberal order. It has many people backing it. We have the Muslim Brotherhood backing it. We have the Wahhabis backing it. We have Al Qaeda and ISIS backing it. But the main sponsor of the people who are pushing for this, the main military and financial and ideological force that right now in this that we're living, that is behind all of this. I mean, we could see that Erdogan in Turkey is also pushing for a little bit of this, but it's mostly the Islamic Republic in Iran. Wherever you see anybody having any success with any of this expansionist policy, you can see, if you look deeply, you can see the tentacles of the Islamic regime behind it. And that's why I think that you could play the defense part from your own country and try to make sure that you educate people and you inform them and you protect your borders and you fight the ideological battle and play the defensive game. But I think the most effective way is to also go on an offensive against the Islamic Republic. And by offensive, I don't mean like a military offensive. I mean by touching and highlighting and supporting and focusing the world's attention on the greatest weakness of the Islamic Republic of Iran. And the greatest weakness of the Islamic Republic of Iran are the people living in Iran and the secular revolution that is now taking place against the Islamic Republic. I think because everything else that you want to tackle, these are going to be the arms of an octopus. But you have to go for the head, and the head is in Tehran, and the head is the Islamic Republic, and the main enemies of the Islamic Republic are the people in Iran, and they're fighting against this regime. And if you want to fight the main force behind this Islamic takeover of the world, you need to focus on the people of Iran, because that's your ally against the main force behind all of this, the struggle. Would you? But also beyond that, you could educate people about what's happening. You could inform them. You could do that by either sharing this video or sharing your book. And again, I want to remind everyone that Hossein Alizade's book is available for free. You could actually download the PDF for free, and I'm constantly posting the link to it in the live chat. And there's also the link to your website, the link to your social media, and the link to your book is also in the description. So you guys could go read this book, or if you could watch this video, you could share this video, or if you prefer a book version of it, you could go read the book. Yeah, that's the book there. You can see, if you click on the link, it will take you to this website, and there's a download link right there. And by the way, thank you for making this book available for free, because I think it's such an important book that people need to. This is basically being aware of what the hell is happening is our main defense mechanism. So thank you for making such an important book free and available in in this important time. But do you agree with my recommendations for solutions on how to tackle all of this?
Would you once again to rephrase your statement? Actually, I was very barely could follow you again. Very, very briefly rephrase it again.
Briefly, in one sentence, the best way to fight against this is to support the people in Iran and support their secular revolution against the Islamic Republic. That's one of the best ways to fight against
absolutely, absolutely right. I mean, I always use this description, Armin. I always use this description saying that Iran today is pregnant. Is pregnant to deliver a baby, and that delivering that baby is what we have seen not once, not twice, not third time. We have seen several times. let me just touch some very important social movements took place in Iran. Back in um, uh, uh, 78, Iranian calendar 78. I mean, some 25 years later, we had we have student movement. Yeah, we have Iranian movement. According to Iranian calendar, 1378, Iranian student movement. کوی دانشجو what is called in English, I mean, student dormitory, no, student dormitory movement, student dormitory movement. Then 10 years later, in 2009, we had the massive Green movement. You remember that the Green movement struck the Iranian society for almost 88 months. Armin, remember, 8 months people were in the street. The people you said, you rightly touched, that they are the engine for bringing any changes in Iranian society for future, that baby. So first was the student dormitory movement. Second was the Green movement, 2009. Then we had the fuel uprising some 8 years ago, some 6 years ago. You remember that a quite massive, huge, landscape movement took all around Iran under the protest against the increasing the price of the gasoline in Iran. Gasoline, yes. And then some 4 years ago, because of the shortage of water, some less massive movement took in Isfahan province and Khuzestan province of Iran.
So let's just summarize this as protest, because I want to make sure we get to the point of the.
Yes. And lastly, the Mahsa movement. By considering all these movements took place and took shape in Iran, we see that like a pregnant woman that's needed to when the delivery comes close, so the lady feels kind of the what is called in English.
I know. This is
okay. Anyway,
this is a like Persian poetry, which might not translate as well to in English. But basically, what you're saying, what you're saying is that this is a hardship before something great that comes. That's what you're saying. You're using metaphors of pregnancy to try to say,
this is the
hardship. This is the price. These hardship is the price that you have to pay for eventually something good that comes out of it, right?
Absolutely right. Last but not least, what I want to summarize in nutshell, I want to make I make sure I am pretty confident that Iran today is not anymore Iran in 1979. People at that time were pro-Islamic attitude. But if today, no, people keep their belief as Muslim, even some they lost their belief in Islam. But even if he is a Muslim, he wants to be a Muslim to keep his belief between himself and the God, and that's all. That's all in Iran today. So they will bring changes, and Iran is a very young society, so more than. And let me highlight a very important figure for you, Armin. The year the revolution the victory happened for revolution in Iran in 1979, the whole population of Iran was 35 million. 35 million, okay? Today, Iran's population is almost 90 million. That means almost some 55 million more people are born after the revolution, okay? Half of them are women. So we have a big number of the women who outnumbered. I mean, the generation, the 55 million people today were born after the revolution, they are outnumbered. They outnumber the whole population back in 1979. So there is a lot of things, changes happen in Iran, in Iran's society, in the number of the population born, in the approach and attitude people towards the belief, whether even losing their belief in Islam or keeping Islam as their belief, but between themselves and the God. And third, because of the very, deterioration of the economic situation in Iran, which it's a matter in any country. Yeah, and you see, for example, a teacher's income, salary is monthly is some, for example, some $300 per month. It's almost nothing. Whereas, for example, in Saudi Arabia, a teacher's salary goes to $2,000 a month. So for too many reasons, I touched some important ones. Because of the movements took place in Iran, because of the changing in attitude of Iranians towards the political Islam, because of the deterioration of economic situation, because of the bad relation with the neighboring countries, and because of too many other factors that I'm not going to.
And also because of anti-Islamic.
I believe that to that metaphor as you used, Iran is quite a pregnant woman today.
Okay. Again, I know English-speaking people, that metaphor might not seem. It sounds a lot better in Persian. These poetic metaphors. But again, guys, I encourage you to like the stream so more people see it. I encourage you to send the stream to as many people as possible. This is thank you so much for explaining this to us. I think that entire framework was made clear in this show. I think this is a must watch for people that want to understand what the hell is going on when it comes to the spread of Islam around the world. And oh yeah, that's your website. Yeah, I have the link to your website and all your social media in the description as well. And yeah, anything do you want to mention your website? Like, what is this that you're showing us? So what are you showing us?
Well, just I'm showing you that my English, part of my website, yes, because it comes in Persian, Arabic, and English, 3 languages.
Great.
And in the English section, yes, yeah. So this is also in the left side here. It is my another book I have written it some 20 years ago. It's in Farsi and Arabic only. It's about the relation between Iran and Egypt, because I have been Iranian diplomat to Egypt for 3 years. I mean, some 22 years ago. So this is the book I have written after I get back to Iran, and this book is published by Iranian Foreign Ministry, where I could in my mission to Egypt. It was the moment I could understand what horrific Qutbism is, because I was living there and I was writing this book. I touched it. That how horrific it is, and it is in this book in Persian and Arabic. So this is all about my books. Of course, I have some 500 articles as well. In Persian, Arabic, or English, so you can find it here in my website,
Yep.
diplomathoseinalizadeh.com.
Fantastic. Okay, yeah. Yeah, the link is in the description, so people could go find it there.
And last but not least, one important thing I want your audience to pay attention. I want that all of them, when they go through my book, The Ummah, please contact me, give me your feedback. What is good, what is bad in this book? Give me your critics about the book, because still I'm working on this idea. This book is very much covering the idea of Ummah in Sunni Islam, not Shia Islam. Because of that, it must be a twin book. One of the twin is born 1 month ago. This book, the Ummah from the Sunni perspective, but the Shia perspective, I'm going to write it another book. Said there will be twins. So please give me your feedback, about whatever you find good or bad in this book. Thank you very much, and thank you again, Armin, for inviting me to your wonderful channel.